look, as you logged on and watched the video, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you.
You can clearly see I'm wearing a McLaren jumper.
Boo.
I'm a massive McLaren fan.
Boo.
And even right now, I feel like saying, boo.
Boo.
Oh. I apologise for the sniffles, I am quite sick. Apologies. But I need to go on about McLaren. I love you, McLaren. I have grown up with you. I have watched the sport since 1999. So, when I say I've grown up with the sport, I've grown up with the sport. And this is the most unsatisfying 1-2 I have ever seen in my entire life. I should have been screaming with joy for Piastri's first victory or Lando's second victory. No. You decide, even when you have a 1-2, to have a strategy blunder. Just pit Piastri first.
Yep.
And then let them race. And then say to Lex 65, alright, Lando, you haven't got past Piastri, hold stations, let's get the 1-2. Lando would have been satisfied, a bit disappointed, but satisfied. Piastri would have been very satisfied. And then Max would have still took himself out the race, basically. But what is with the strategies? I know you aren't used to winning, and I completely get that. You've got the best car now. You've got two of the best drivers on the grid. You can't keep doing this. The only one I don't blame you for winning is Austria, because Max decided he wants to wreck Lando. But you should have won the majority of the last 7 races.
Yep.
Mercedes should not have won the last 2 races before today. No offence to Hamilton. No offence to George Russell. Loved them both. But that should have been 2 Lando victories. Possibly a third today. Sorry to start off this video with a rant. As a very passionate McLaren fan, devotee McLaren fan, I'm quite upset with McLaren recently. And yet, I was happier with them when they had a worse car.
Well,
sorry, Jack.
That covers the entire video, so yeah.
Sorry, I don't know where that rant come from. I apologise.
That's fair enough. No, it was.
I love you, McLaren. If you want to invite me to the pits, I'll happily come.
Yeah, I mean, same. You know, why not?
Never gonna happen, but I appreciate the thought.
Yeah, I just have to go out and buy a McLaren top. But yeah, it was. Do you know what? We'll start with the very beginning of the race. We'll just go there. We'll just start there. And you know, this. To be fair, the very beginning of the race, I think, sums up the race in its entirety. So, we go into the first corner. You have Norris and Max fighting against each other. Piastri just took the opportunity and went bye-bye. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Great move. Great move. Fantastic move. You had Hamilton trying to go around the outside of Norris as well. Got cut off. Fair enough. You know, just racing. It's great. Yeah. Great to see. But especially as a McLaren fan.
Mercedes.
Oh yeah, Mercedes fan. Yeah, same as a Mercedes fan.
That's how good of a Mercedes fan you are. You forgot your team. You did me.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's been one of them days. But anyway.
Yeah, that's fair.
As a Mercedes fan, got it in check that time. You know, that was great to see. But that beginning part of the race there set Max up, is what we'll go with. That set Max up. And Max was then in a bad mood, right? And I turned around at that moment when he went off track and he come back on and he was screaming down the old communication, whatever it is. He was screaming down that about the fact that, you know, he needed the place, but he didn't need to give the place back. That leave it with the FIA. Why are you telling me to give it back? Blah 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 blah. I turned around and went, he's going to crash. It's Max in a mood. Max in a mood is never a good thing. We've seen it multiple times, you know, mostly with Hamilton over the years.
Again,
old rivalries, die hard. But it was just there, and I knew we were in for a Max being a bit of a baby, a bit annoyed, a bit competitive. Yeah, it happened.
I would actually like to defend Max a little bit here, though, before we get into what happened during the race. People have come out and slated them for being up till like 3 a.m. doing sim racing.
Yeah, I laughed at that, to be honest.
Well, the thing is, right, if he went out and won that race, right, they'd be going, oh, look at Max, he does this and this, how amazing. They said that to Imola. Well, he did
that when he did a 24-hour race, didn't he?
Yeah, he did a 24-hour race, then did Imola. And guess what? He won Imola. Look, as much as Max has his moments, he's amazing. Let him do his stuff. When Hamilton was doing amazing, and when there's 6 titles, 5 titles, 7 titles, it should be 8. Controversy. He was doing fashion shows, doing music on the outside. No one complained.
Nope.
As soon as stuff starts happening that's out of his control or isn't the best, what's he doing the fashion shows for? What's he doing this? Just stop slating the guys and enjoy the sport.
Exactly. It's just... Anyway.
But yeah, anti-mood, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's just been like one of those, though, isn't it? Like... They're set it off. Obviously, then Piastri is off. It was... it took him a little while, but he built a gap to Norris.
Yeah.
Norris was, to be fair, defending against Verstappen. It's fair enough. So obviously you're going to build a bit of a gap, just through the defensive nature of the two behind. That sort of attack and stuff. And do you know what? I think from there, everything was relatively swell.
Mm-hmm.
Relatively. And then, fast forward to the pit stop strategy a bit later on. I want to say...
The first pit stop... Well, we can ignore first pit stop. It's a bit later it happens in the second pit stop.
Yeah, the second pit stop is where it all kind of went a little bit wrong, didn't it, really? They tried to cover off Hamilton. Understandably, any team would try to do that.
It's not, though. But wasn't,
I get
though.
that.
He was 6 seconds ahead of him. It's not in pit stop range. It's not in undercut range, I mean.
Yeah, but Hamilton on those hards, no matter how much he kept complaining about it, and he really did keep complaining about it, he was quick on them. Very quick.
But
like, quicker than a medium.
He was quick, but he wasn't McLaren quick. The car isn't McLaren quick. He was never a threat. Unless Lando or Oscar went off, he was not a threat. No offence to Lewis. He was a great driver, but the car was not a threat.
He's just consistent at the minute. That's the thing. And he's not really making that many errors. Before, you want to start commenting and hating on the fact that you're going to, whatever, with the whole Verstappen-Hamilton thing. We'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, it was just... It was down at that point, really, wasn't it? And they covered off Hamilton. I'd get it if he was maybe within striking range of being able to overtake.
Exactly, I get that.
Then yeah, it makes more sense, but he wasn't. So then you'd pit Piastri to give Piastri the fresh tyres, and you'd go from there. Like, it's just obvious. And yet they decided to pit Lando, who, no offence to Piastri, is the better of the drivers, is the quicker of the drivers.
At the moment.
At the moment,
let's be fair.
Yeah, we'll be fair. At the moment, he definitely is. Lando currently is at the peak of his powers. Possibly. Yep. Well, peak of his current powers. I bet he could still probably raise the ceiling a bit further. But why? Why go down that route? And then it just created this whole major issue, which, to be fair, you had touched on. But the issue was Lando, in his right mind, was defending and being like, look, hold up, no. Tell him to catch up. Which, to be fair, if me and you were playing F1, I'd tell you to do. If it was for points for the championship, I'd be like, oh, catch up with me, then I'll give you the place.
Yeah.
Because I'm not, he's not messing his own game up. Because the thing is, that could have gone totally wrong, and then Hamilton would have been right on them.
Yeah.
In theory. I think he was like 10 seconds behind, wasn't he?
It's something like that. So if he then drops back to 5 or 6 seconds, Piastri was. Something goes wrong. Hamilton's...
Hamilton's 3.
Look, Piastri... Let's just... Right, I'm going to say this, right? Piastri was better for 2/3 of the race. Mm-hmm. So, on merit, yes, Piastri probably deserved the win. But Lando Norris had the better last stint. He always has an amazing last stint. He pulled away from Piastri when Piastri had the fresher tyres. I'm not saying Lando deserved the win. But why put him in that situation? If you're a racing driver and you've in the lead of the race, you're pulling away from the second driver, why are you going to give that win up?
I'll even defend Lando here. He was on scrubbed tyres. He wasn't on new tyres.
Was it
He was
scrubbed?
on scrubbed. He was on scrubbed tyres.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah. Yeah, they mentioned it as he came out of the pits. He was on scrubbed mediums. I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
I mean, look, Piastri driven an amazing race. I'm not saying that last stint was saying he was awful. He wasn't. He was great.
He still made a couple of little tiny mistakes. Went off track a couple of times, didn't he? I think it was twice.
But I think that was because he was starting to panic because Lando was
gaining.
home.
Yeah.
But why even put him in that situation? Lando is fighting. Okay, it might be a few points difference, but Max is going to be getting 5th and 6th from now on.
Yeah.
Lando's in this World Drivers' Championship fight. He's not just going to give that up.
Oh no, he's only 76 points behind.
If he'd won, he'd be 69. Nice. But he would have been.
Yeah.
And if he loses the championship by 7 points, I'm not saying he's going to win by it. It's still a massive long shot. But if Red Bull are going to start having these days, and Max is going to start consistently dropping points, there's a chance. And if he loses the title by 7 points, there's going to be questions. And I'm not saying Lando should have kept it, but he should have been allowed the right to fight.
Yep.
They should have put him in second place, pitted Piastri first, and went, Lando, got to attack about lap 60, lap 65. If you haven't passed him, hold station, let's get the 1-2, please.
Yep.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair, yeah.
Good team orders, that's good strategy. I don't know what the offer. I love this team, but right now it's so hard to be happy for them. It's so hard to be happy for Piastri.
I know.
I should have been cheering for that victory.
And he wasn't. And that's the thing. That's the really bad thing about all of this. Like, forget everything else. He apologised. He apologised for winning. Apologised for what had happened on the team radio. Like, he looked dejected, which is his first actual win. And, I'll happily point out as well, it was the same when he won back last year when Max won the championship. He again completely overshadowed in this, and everything that went on with this race is his first race win. He should have been happy, he should have been elated, but no, once again he was pushed to the background because of everything else that went on, which is well, I'll say that as it is. It's shit. But it is. If that was me, I'd be exactly the same. I'd feel dejected as anything. Like it. I'm a highly competitive person. I know every single F1 driver is bound to be highly competitive, and feeling like that when you've just won, it's just not. It's not the same. And he'll be looking at that trophy, at that win, as something that he wants to forget about.
That's what I was thinking when he was like, he's going to look at the trophy and be like, I don't want it.
No.
Which is sad to think. But what has also twisted me as well, I know we're still going about McLaren, I'm sorry, but there's so much that we can discuss about this.
14 minutes in, yeah.
Is it? Wow, okay. I don't want to say this because I love the team, but they were effectively blackmailing Lando. Saying, this is not how you win a championship. To win a championship, you need a team. So what, if he wins this race, you're not going to be on his side? Like, basically, and you know what's even worse? Him and Will have been engineer and driver since about 2019, I think it is.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
They have got a bond like this.
Yeah.
McLaren have damaged that today. Well, yes, they should say. McLaren have damaged it. And that, I had to watch the Channel 4 highlights, unfortunately. It was actually still alright. But David Coulthard was saying how special that bond is between engineer and driver, and it's hard to repair.
Yeah, like look at Hamilton and Bono. That's not something you do ever get to replace. Yeah. It's
what they've done. It could affect the team for the rest of the championship.
It really is a race for for all of McLaren to forget. They need to pick up and move on from this and have a proper strategy in place. Make sure that both drivers know what's going to go on, what the team expects of them. None of this, or if you wouldn't mind, or if you could be ever so good, like like all this baby talk that was going on down the thing. No, tell them straight up, hey Lando, move now. Not or if you wouldn't mind at some point in the future, if you could ever so slightly, maybe just move. If you feel like it, don't put yourself out, but just think about it maybe as you go around the next 20 laps. No, tell him to move. If the plan was whoever goes into the first corner, whoever leads the first lap is going to win the race, as long as they're P1, P2. Tell them, let them be that. Make sure that they know that and understand that, and that there's no deviation on that. Like, I'd understand from a Lando point of view if he went, do you know what? Actually, hold on. Let's wait until a couple of laps before. Let's make sure that gap between second and third is big enough. I'll start backing off slightly so we can start catching up, and then we'll do the swap to make sure that we get that P1, P2. Yeah. The gap was already there. All we had to do was just pull back by a few tenths a lap at a push. Not go so hard through, what was it, turn 4? I think he was having he was getting told not to keep going so hard through turn 11.
He was absolutely fine. He didn't need safe tyres. That was just them trying to slow him down.
Slow him down, yeah.
But what has also bugged me is Andrea Stell's done an amazing job since he's run that team.
Yeah.
Where was he? Remember when Nico and Lewis were having their issues? Toto's on that radio.
Yep.
He lays down the law.
Yep. Steps in when he needs to step in.
Christian Horner, he doesn't do it that often, but if he needs to, he does.
I feel like he did jump in, didn't he? No, Stella didn't. Stella stepped back, whereas I think Horner actually did.
I'm does sure step in.
Yeah, I think he did step in when Max was getting like proper grumpy. I think this is post Hamilton. I think he did actually come over the thing and was like, "Look, we're not going to talk about it. I'm not going to get on the phone with anyone. Just stop." Because he was saying that that Hamilton should have got a penalty or something, and I'm sure it was Horner. I mean, to be fair, sound kind of the same over the radio.
GP, I think it was GP, but they do sound similar.
They do sound very similar, but even then, we're not going to go. Like, and even then, if that was Horner and he's got on the blower and gone, "Hey, by the way, look, not even bothering. This is like they know this is your fault." Where is Stella in that? I know he's a man manager, and I know he likes to sit back and let people actually do their job, but no one was doing their job.
Yeah,
I think someone on the pit wall was actually crying. There was a woman whose name I can't remember for the life of me, but she had tears. Like, this race was horrible for them, all of them, especially those on the pit wall, especially those people that are behind the scenes that are listening to this conversation, listening to this like bickering, the blanking going on from Lando. Like, it was just fully childish.
Yeah.
To be fair, it really makes me think. I put it up on Twitter, I think it was, or it might have been Threads. Like with Piastri walking through the F1 kids thing, just going, "Hi, kids." And I was like, "Yep, that's what he's going to be saying at the end of this." Just like. Anyway, well done, Piastri. 23,
well done.
Won a world championship. Like,
world championship.
He's won a race.
You feel okay, Jack?
It's all these late night gaming sessions we've got going on, Josh.
I know, right? We shouldn't be up till 3 AM playing Uno.
No, especially when we've got an F1 race in the morning.
I know, right?
Anyway,
Max,
this video
what were you doing?
Yeah. Imagine.
Ubisoft, do you want to give us some money? I'll stream Uno for you.
I mean, yeah, chuck any Assassin's Creed game at me. I love them. So, please.
Speaking of late night gaming sessions and 3 AM, get your gaming stuff now. Not sponsored. But, Max. We need to get into Max Verstappen.
I mean, to be fair, we might as well make this a 2-part video at this rate. Oh,
yeah. So Max for the next 20 minutes, everyone.
Yeah.
No, but
I'm not going to lay into him as hard as the whole McLaren situation.
No.
Yeah.
But something was definitely in the air Hungary. Because I have not seen Max this worked up in a while.
Mm-hmm. It's been
In
a good
a
while. Mm-hmm.
And don't get me wrong, it's happened more this season than usual because he's actually in competition now. But
Oh, yeah.
it's been a while, and I know him and GP have a very blunt relationship.
Yep.
They've been together for 8 years. Sound.
Yeah.
But it felt like today was the start of a divorce. Like,
You're losing the kids. That's what's going on now. Max is going to lose the kids in the divorce. No more F1 car for him. So I was.
Max is going to Mercedes, everyone. Confirmed right now. This is what causes it. But
Don't say that because I feel like that could actually happen.
imagine if this happened, that'd be call of the century. But
Be, yeah.
what I'd like to say is Max was very volatile and very toxic on the radio. Understandably apart, but he also went a bit too far.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's probably a lot that we didn't hear. I feel like there would have been a lot that we didn't hear.
All my TikTok has been filled with stuff I haven't heard in the radio. Like, oh my god, this got cut out, this got cut out. I was like, oh my god.
Meant to win it.
Yeah. And Max is, I will always say this, he's an amazing driver.
Yeah. Yeah.
He makes mistakes occasionally, but every driver does.
Oh, yeah.
But, what are you doing, good Lewis? Why do him and Lewis always have to crash? It's without fail every time. They have to crash.
Which is the thing, like, this crash, like, was just... It was pure Max. It was Max dive bombing down the inside, which, to be fair, any person that has ever played an F1 game at any point in their life has definitely done. Maybe not around that corner, because it's quite hard to recover. That corner's a bit harder to dive bomb, because it's such a, like, I find it hard to go around there. I end up going off. No, just you. I just dive bomb around Spa. Because I can. Except for the last 2 corners. Can't dive bomb there. Can't do it on a chicane. But no, I get he was annoyed, and this proved what I was thinking right at the beginning of the race, is that he was going to crash, and it happened. And luckily, he didn't cause himself any damage. Didn't look like he really caused too much damage to the car. Somehow, that was a miracle, absolute miracle, because his car was like that. You know,
it reminded me of when Helm did it in Spa with Mercedes.
Yeah.
That's a retired car 2 laps later.
Yeah, he at least he managed to keep 5th. That's the upside. That's the one slight upside to the whole thing. I'm just annoyed that he didn't finish 3rd, so I could listen to him absolutely rant and rave, because that would have been funny.
Oh my god, that would be amazing! I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, imagine. I was thinking it. I was like, do you know what? I would have taken a Hamilton P4 just to listen to Max go absolutely nuts in the thingy. You'd have seen Horner coming on, grabbing him by the ear, just like, nope. Oof.
Him, Landon, Oscar in that cool down room. Wow, that would have been something to listen to.
No. I think him, Lando, and Alonso, because Alonso's had a really bad weekend in terms of mood as well. I think that as a 3, I don't think anyone would have got out of there alive. The cameraman would have been dead. You know, just.
I mean, what happened to Hungary to Alonso is what makes Alonso quit some teams.
Yeah.
He did it with Alpine.
He was already having a bad weekend after the Yuki crash. Was it Yuki? Might have been Perez.
Yeah. No, it was both. Yuki crashed in Q3.
That was what it was, Yeah.
How are we saying Yuki crashed in Q3 and Perez crashed in Q1? It should be the way around.
In theory, yeah, but it's about right these days.
Yeah.
But no. No, Max. Yeah.
Look, it wasn't his best race. It wasn't his worst.
No.
Somehow it wasn't his worst. But
no.
He is an amazing driver. He'll bounce back.
Yeah.
Him and Red Bull will kiss and make up. They always do whenever they've had these tiffs and taffs.
Whatever's.
They'll be just fine. They just need to get the car back on track.
Yeah, he'll bounce back probably first race of the season. First race of the second half of the season. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he'll bounce back next week, because I think Personally, if they manage to keep it in check and actually do team orders correctly, McLaren should win there.
Again, it should be no track McLaren winner. But
yeah, it's a high-speed
McLaren
track.
strategies.
It is such a high-speed track. Oh, I wish I was going. Love Spa. Absolutely love it. It's one of my favourite tracks. I know you're not a big fan of it. Yeah.
I respect the heritage. That's about it.
No, I just like Spa. More, probably a little bit less in terms of the watching, more just of playing it. I enjoy driving at Spa. Don't know.
You sound like a rich man. We play it in the F1 games.
I know. I just need to go and get the Bugatti Chiron serviced tomorrow. My butler's taking it. Right.
I was getting a Nissan GTR service tomorrow as well. How convenient.
Oh, there we go.
The Nissan GTR doesn't exist and I wish it did. It's my dream car.
Anyway, mine used to be a Nissan Z, but anyway.
Yeah. I would like to touch on Alonso and Stroll as well, though. Speak about radio taffs.
Yeah.
It wasn't really broadcast, but what came out after the race was Alonso's let Stroll by during the race to try and attack whoever's in front of Alonso because Alonso couldn't catch up.
Yeah.
On direction of the team, saying Stroll will let you back past if you cannot pass them.
We've seen it before.
Stroll's not past them, and he also kept the place ahead of Alonso. Coincidentally, Alonso was very, very annoyed, and there's footage of it out there, and it's kind of weird. George was the only one brave enough to even speak to him.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that footage. I didn't know where that was from. Yeah, I've seen that footage. Yeah, threw his clothes and everything on the floor, didn't he?
Yeah, and I think Alonso was about to walk off because they had to weigh him on the actual car scales. He was very angry, and Alonso has quit teams before because of stuff like that. McLaren and Alpine are two examples.
Alonso to Mercedes. Anyway, you heard it here first.
But we've seen. I said we've seen it in the past. Lewis Hamilton and Bottas, exact same track, ironically. Bottas let Lewis Hamilton past.
Yep.
Lewis couldn't pass him. Last corner, the last lap, let Bottas straight back through.
He did, yeah. He just moved over. Yeah. Gone. Off you go.
They agreed on it. They fell through it. They're good teammates. Great team.
Yeah.
Whereas last time I went, Stroll's got the money.
Well, it's because Daddy was going to protect him. So it's fine.
It's just, look, Stroll's actually a nice driver. But that was very, very disrespectful.
It was. Yeah, especially to someone of, Alonso's caliber and his tenure and whatnot. Like, he's a very renowned driver. Everybody knows who he is. Even people outside of F1, there'll be people that know who Alonso is just because of the name. Same with like Hamilton, Schumacher, Vettel. You're going to have those people that do know him.
Well, I mentioned Alonso. It's one of the few names my fiance recognises.
Yeah.
So.
If I say it, my other half, she just says, "Oh yeah, the Spanish one."
That could be signed, so.
I mean, technically, she's not wrong. I'd give her a due there. She watches F1 for the crashes into the first corner. That's about it. So she got her money's worth this week. No, she stayed for the full race. Actually, she was fuming as well. She wanted to actually jump in on this video. And
why didn't
big old...
That was a
yeah, she's currently playing Monopoly. Anyway, yeah, females doing female things, but yeah. Yeah, anyway, there wasn't really much else, was there? Williams had a really just poor, boring race. Same with... Oh, hold on. I know, I've got one. Oh, Sauber had a sub 3 second pit stop. Hey! I'm just going to keep this joke going all season.
Sauber's social media is better than the actual team. Woo!
Sauber's social media...
Incredible.
Yeah, Sauber's social media is probably the best on the grid.
Oh, yeah, by far.
Don't get me wrong, VCarb, I do like the art that they put up before every race. Because it's that as well is fantastic. But their social media, damn.
Especially their TikToks and their YouTube shorts, they are just fire. Oh, every weekend.
Yeah.
At least the team's having fun.
Yeah, it shows Bottas on it having a funny side, and it gets Joe in there as well. He's a very reserved man. and seeing him interacting with Bottas is just awkward, and it's great. Well, to me, it looks awkward anyway on the outside. It just, Bottas being Bottas.
Ooh, I actually remember something, and we ironically forgot it again, even when we saw it before the recording. Hamilton's 200th podium.
Oh, we said this.
We said it before we recorded.
Do you know what? Right. Well done. Do you remember about the other thing as well? That's literally what it ended up being. It was like, oh yeah, by the way, it's 200th podium. I was thinking, like, when they're going to mention it? And then they did, and it was gone. I was like, oh, right. Okay. Well done, Mercedes social media team, for putting it out there so that everybody was aware. Stopped, stopped drooling over George for 5 minutes.
We know you drool over Hamilton too.
Need a bit more Hamilton out there. And a bit more Roscoe as well, thanks.
Roscoe and Leo met each other last week. Do you see that?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I'd seen the pictures. So it was cute. Anyway, we've been droning on for 32 minutes. At this point, obviously,
I think 18 minutes of it was McLaren.
18 minutes, it was Josh with McLaren. I spoke about twice. And I just said, yay, Roscoe.
I was in a ranty mood. McLaren upset me.
Yeah, right. Apologies for the really long video. Next week, though, might be a possibility that we might be together and be able to record together for the first time. That would be fantastic. We'll see how it goes. I'll have to bring my whole setup.
You can see you go and bring that picture at the back as well, and then the wall and the curtains.
A bit of Hamilton up there. Right. Yeah, why not?
So I'll bring that poster as well, and then
and then we'll just find a alleyway somewhere and put it all back together. Anyway, enjoy. Hope you have a great weekend. Hopefully the last race of the season is just as hectic. And...
Right, you're so tired. Not last race of the season.
Last race of the midpoint of the season. Until the midpoint. Oh,
you feel like okay?
It's been a very long school year. I need to break now. I am broke. I have broke up, but I need to break.
We're going to go play Uno, Jack.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, Spa. Woo! And yeah, glad to see the back of the Hungarian. This is what I usually say. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Anyway, have a great week. Thank you for watching. If you could like and subscribe. Josh said bye too early.
No. Like and subscribe.
Yeah, do that, and we will see you in the next one. Ta-da.
Bye. See ya.